Hey, it's Camilla from Creative Friends Decant. I am going to try to keep this quick, but this is the welcome kits that you've bought, and we're going to talk about how to make the rustic background you just saw and how to make the scrappy bow that is on the hive. Let's get started. Each kit includes everything you need except your water in your containers. I'm using the mug and the little bowl here. I'm going to set the ribbon to the side, and we're going to get started with using the paints and the stains that come in these kits. All the kits are going to be packed anytime you get them from me with premium paints and stains. So I have tested, you'll see them, the designs are mine. I'm using the products. It is something I would put in my house. This kit is a matte finished, so it's not going to be shiny, and it is for indoor use only. But I'm using Rust-Oleum brand. It's Tester's Craft as well, paints for this, and I really like them. I actually found them at Menards, and I've not found them affordable since then, so it might be a one-time only. But I have some fun metallic paints coming and all kinds, but I promise you that every product in this kit has been personally tested and has my seal of approval. So let's get started. Okay, so you're going to cut this out of the saran wrap and get all your pieces out. I'm going to tell you, be really careful with your paints and make sure you only open your paint containers over your washable or disposable work area, so my butcher paper, and not anything you're painting. The stain especially is really liquidy, so I'm using butcher paper. And you're going to start by painting all your pieces. And with the exception of the umbrella kit, I recommend that you start with your background piece. And I want to talk about stain here. So if your kit came with stain, keep watching. If not, fast forward about 3 minutes or so. So the stain comes really strong. So you're going to use water to dilute it. I am going to do a very light background on. So I'm actually going to start with my B shapes so that I can dilute this stain even more so I have a lighter background. You can use the black paint on these pieces, but I'm just going to knock this out real quick. So now we're ready to paint. So you're going to pick out your colors. If you're doing the umbrella kit, paint the umbrella first. It takes quite a bit of paint, so just make sure you paint it first. You're going to find as you watch me paint this in fast motion that I do a lot of color mixing and playing. And you can do that. So I, just now used the cream and the green just to lighten it a little bit. And I'm going to go back and use the dark like for the leaves. And I'm also going to use the black that I sent and blend in a little bit of texture on my branch. So then I'm going to grab the yellow in this kit and paint the bees. But you paint your kit however you'd like. I sent enough paints to make your own decisions, as long as you remember that you do want to paint the umbrella first. That was a big piece in that kit, and it is going to take a good amount of whatever color you choose. So some of the wood is fine details to paint. If you get a little bit of paint over edges, you've got two options. You can either clean it up or you can embrace it. And I do both on all the kits and it works. But to clean it up, rinse and dry your brush. So rinse it out really clean, dry it, and then clean up your edges with that clean, dry brush. And that will help keep things nice and clean. Although if you look at my work surface, it's not clean because I love to mix and blend and make things my own. And that's what I hope you do. So I'm going to rock out this background with plain stain and then we'll keep going here. So let's talk background options. So you can leave them plain, just like the wood underneath here. And that's how I did the umbrella kit. You can also use the acrylic paints. So I have the paint set here that comes with the umbrella kit, speaking of it. And you can use acrylic paint as a stain. That is the biggest, most cool thing that I want to share with you during this tips and tricks for this round. So what I'm going to do is add just a pinch of acrylic paint to this water, and we are going to make stain. And after you stir and stir and stir and stir and stir, it really doesn't take that long. You have made yourself acrylic paint stain. How cool is that? So this is what I used to do my rustic backgrounds. I did it on the bicycle one, but I do have a lot of fun, and I can see this kind of design working for the umbrella. So it's just a brush, and once you dip it into your stain or homemade stain, you just stripe your wood, and then you're going to take your brush and you're going to dip it into another color, and that's what's going to give it that rustic look. So I'm going to dip into white on this one that we're working on. But this one, I used the stain, a little bit of the orange color, and white. So you can do, I wouldn't do more than 3. And you notice I kept that orange color really faint. But I'm going to do 2 colors here is what I'm going to show you. And so I did a little bit of the teal stain, and now I'm actually just going to blot this out. I got a little bit on my brush, blot it out, and I'm going to add the white areas. The white's not going to show up real strong, so I'm going to work with it until it's happy, but start light and then work until you're happy. And you can also water down the white and use it as a light stain. But really and truly, you just work your homemade stain. I blotted a little on the board where I want those thicker spots, but you just work these 2 together until you're happy, and don't spill your stain like I just almost did. Just don't blend your colors any more than out of your lines. So do parallel lines and keep going parallel lines. Don't switch up and do your brush in different directions. So keep those straight lines, make sure you get the edges and work it together. It's really and truly as simple as that. And here's a fun spoiler. If you try it and you don't like it, so you don't like what you did, flip it over. The circles will work great for that. Some of the other pieces will too if you mess those up. However, the words and things like that don't. There's, a few things that won't, but some will. So play with it and be creative. All right, so don't let all these ribbons intimidate you, but you'll need scissors for this part. I have all the ribbons setting out for each kit sitting here, and so I just want to kind of run down and show you that each kit has something for a hanger. So it might have jute like this one, or it might have ribbon like some of the other ones. And my easiest way to do a hanger is to tie a simple knot at the bottom of that piece of ribbon, and then feed it through your hole. And then I loop that knot through. I like them to hang the different way, so I switched it, but either way will work. But then you loop the knot through the loop, and now you have your hanger. So it's a matter of if you want the knot at the top or the knot hidden behind the back. Either way totally works. But that is how you do the hanger. Now let's talk about some bows. The umbrella kit, I sent this lace this lace, and I also sent a yellow lace. My first bow is super simple, y'all. It's a knot, okay? I said in my little note, I'm not a bow person. They're going to get better than this one. But truthfully, I don't think that, like the bicycle, I don't think it needs anything. But if you wanted, you could do a knot here and dress that up just a little bit, and then cut your ends of your ribbon however you'd like. And that's not bad. That is actually super cute if you wanted a little bit of lace. I kind of like it long too, but either way is fine. The umbrella kit got some blue ribbon and this yellow pink plaid, okay? So for this one, actually what I did is I did my hanger with the blue, and then I used the plaid pink ribbon, and I made like the only bow I know how to make. So let's show you how I made just the simple bow for the umbrella. All right, so the first thing you do is kind of flatten it out, and then I like to get my little center. So I rolled each side, and I just gave myself what is going to end up to be the center. And you want to work in the center-ish of the ribbon for this. And I didn't do 100% on that, but work in the center and make yourself a loop. And then you're going to make yourself 2 loops. There, I have to get that straightened out. You're going to make yourself 2 loops now. So straighten out your ribbon how it's looking nice, and then make yourself another loop and tuck it into your finger and your pointer finger and your thumb. That's where I'm holding it. And then I pulled that tail down. See that? All right. And then the other side, you do the same thing. I just flipped it over and made myself a loop. And again, I'm holding all those loops with my thumb and my pointer finger. Once I have those arranged how I want them, I'm going to take the scrap of that blue ribbon hanger, and I'm going to feed it through. So I'm catching all the loops with this. And then I'm going to bring it to the back side. If you have a friend, it might help, but I got it done just fine by myself. And I'm going to start a few knots. So I'm going to do 2 for sure, and that will hold it all together. Another spoiler, because I am a minimalist and I love to reuse bows, is you can actually snip this and you didn't hurt that ribbon. So now you can put it on a gift for someone who has a birthday before you take this down. Okay, I don't know. But it also, I like wood signs that lay flat in my closet. So sometimes I put the ribbons with all my ribbons. Anyway, so then you're going to cut your ends how you'd like. And I should have grabbed my craft scissors, so ignore me. But you can get it done. Just make sure you're holding things snug. Or if you have material scissors, that works better for ribbon. But you can get them done. These scissors, I cut metal with them, okay? So they're rough. I should have grabbed my better scissors. So a good sharp pair of scissors, and you can cut your fancy ends. I'm measuring up here because I want them to be the same. And we'll be done with a simple bow. This is what I put on the umbrella. All right, so now let's make the scrappy bow. And yes, I'm sorry, I got excited, but this one is exciting. So I am going to tell you really quick that unfortunately this spotted print ribbon did not make the cut. I only had enough to make this one, and I did not realize it until after the video was filmed. And I'm sorry, I didn't refilm just to show you that it didn't make it. But these scrappy bows look so good with all of these ribbons, and any ribbons. They even look good with the same exact ribbon done this way. So what I'm doing here is cutting each of the pieces of ribbon that I sent in 4 pieces. So you cut all the pieces of ribbon that you want to use for a scrappy bow into, I'm going to say they're give or take 4 inches. I don't measure, just cut the strips I sent you in 4. But give or take 4 inches. You could even do 6, and then you'll see what I'm doing. You just layer them in X patterns around and around and around, okay? And I try not to layer up the same colors. So, the pink, the 2 pieces of pink that are on here already, are in an X, and I'm twisting the next colors around. So line them all up until as many scraps as you're happy are twisted around to make a fluff, because that's what it's kind of fluffing it up. And some of the ribbon I have sent is wired ribbon, so it will fluff real easily. But you're going to fluff up the ribbon and then get a piece of that hanger ribbon, and we're going to tie this all together. And then I'm just going to use that simple knot and tie it together. So the big thing on this one is deciding which side you want to put the knot on and which side, you want to be the front or back. And I should have spun it around here, but what I ended up doing for this one is I used these yellow, I'm calling it ribbon. It was bought in the ribbon section, but it's kind of a wire, and I'm going to make a fun beehive-ish inspired center. So that's the fun thing about the scrappy bows, is they're always unique and they're always cute. Y'all, I have sold products with the scrappy bows, so obviously people like them as well as I do. However, I sell a lot of things with a simple knot and no bow, so all three work just fine. It's just a matter of fluffing and arranging and playing until you like it. And I'm going to guess that some of you can really show me up on some fancy bows if you wanted to. And I'm totally fine with that, because that's the point of the kit, is to be creative. And really quick, I just want to remind you that a completed kit may even be resold. I have no issues with that. I just ask that you don't resell the kit completed by me. So once you complete it, you may sell your sign. I'm going to finish this bow up and we're almost done. And I also want to remind you to post on Facebook. So stay tuned so you hear that. It's how you want to win a free box. So I'm going to finish up this bow by tying these little things in, the little boogers in is what this is going to be. And we're almost done. All right, so I will finish this one up by tying this bow to the hanger. Yours all have holes in the top. Ignore the fact that this one does not. So we are going to use the glue in the kits to glue down all these little pieces. Excuse me. It is marked with a G, and I would use my paintbrush. It's the very last thing you're going to do. And then, you can use just a little bit of this glue on the back. It doesn't take a whole lot. I will say sometimes wood warps with moisture. We've added moisture. It also warps with air moisture. Just use a mug or something heavy to hold pieces down if you need to. But lay out your design where you want it, and then use the brush to apply the glue. So it's a G and it's a purpley glue to the back of the wood, and that will glue both of them together. And that's it. Your DIY craft kit door hanger this month is all done. Share them in our Facebook group. So take a picture of the box, the completed kit, what you got in the kit, one picture, one entry, everyone has a chance. So if you purchased a box, each box has a chance to win another one. So you just need to post your picture and get your chance to win a free box. I'm super excited about that because I want to see what you do with our brand new DIY creative kits. I'm going to finish up the glue here and we're all done. Please share your project.